I love my space. I love my space because it is an extension of my being, a physical manifestation of my thoughts, my values, and my creativity. Every element within my space, from the colors on the walls to the arrangement of furniture, reflects aspects of my personality and serves as a silent narrator of my life story. It's in this space that I am most authentically me, unobserved and unrestrained. My space is a sanctuary where I can express myself freely and without judgment. The freedom to be completely at ease in one's own space is a fundamental human need, akin to the need for air and water. When I shape my space to reflect who I am engaging in an act of self-love, affirming my identity and my right to a place in the world that feels like home. Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound affirmations that will change your life. In the quiet moments spent in my space, I am confronted with the truth of my existence. This confrontation is not stark or jarring, but gentle, like the soft light of dawn. It invites introspection and offers me the clarity that sometimes eludes me in the hustle of the external world. I love my space. I love my space because it is a testament to my journey. Every object has a history. Every scratch on a piece of furniture or mark on a wall is a silent witness to the moments of life that have passed through. My space holds memories, both joyous and melancholic, and in this way, it becomes a chronicle of my existence. My space is not static. It evolves as I do, changing to accommodate new experiences, insights, and aspirations. The way I organize and reorganize my surroundings is a dance of adaptation, a visual representation of my growth. As I change, so does my space, in an ongoing dialogue between my environment and my state of being. Through the love of my space, I understand the significance of presence. To be present in one's space is to be in tune with the reality of one's life, to embrace the now with all its imperfections and beauty. It is in the act of living within my space that I find moments of profound joy and peace. I love my space. I love my space because it is the canvas upon which I paint the day's emotions and thoughts. It absorbs the spectrum of my moods, from the vibrant hues of joy and inspiration to the somber shades of contemplation and sorrow. My space does not judge. It simply contains and understands. It is within my space that I find the freedom to explore the full range of human experience. Here, I can laugh with abandon, cry in solitude, dream without limits, and love with all my heart. My space is privy to my sincerest expressions, a confidant to my deepest secrets and most cherished dreams. In loving my space, I am reminded of the power of environment to shape mood and perspective. A well-loved space can lift the spirits, inspire the mind, and soothe the soul. It is in this nurturing environment that I find the strength to face life's challenges and the inspiration to pursue my passions. I love my space because it is a haven of solitude. In a world that is ever connected, where the lines between public and private are increasingly blurred, my space remains uniquely mine. It is a bastion of solitude in which I can retreat from the cacophony of collective existence and reconnect with the singular voice of my own soul. Solitude is not mere physical aloneness. It is a state of being that fosters reflection and self-discovery. In the silence of my space, I hear the whispers of my inner self, ideas and feelings that are drowned out by the noise of daily life. This solitude is a precious commodity, a wellspring of creativity and introspection from which I can draw without limit. My space as a sanctuary of solitude teaches me the value of quietude. In stillness, The mind finds clarity like a lake undisturbed reflects the sky with perfect fidelity. I learned the importance of pausing, of giving myself the gift of stillness to find balance in the frenetic pace of modern life. I love my space. I love my space because it is a domain of freedom. Within its confines, I am the master of my choices, free to explore, experiment, and experience without external constraints. It is a microcosm of possibility, a laboratory for personal development where the only limits are those I place upon myself. This freedom within my space allows me to cultivate resilience and self-reliance. Through making decisions, both significant and mundane, I learn to trust my instincts and to take responsibility for the outcomes of my actions. It is a freedom that teaches as much as it liberates, instilling confidence and a sense of competence. In my space, I have the freedom to fail, which is just as important as the freedom to succeed. Here, mistakes become lessons, not judgments. It is where I build the courage to take risks and the grace to face the consequences, knowing that each outcome contributes to the person I am becoming. I love my space. I love my space because it serves as a vessel of self-expression. The textures, the colors, the arrangement of objects, all are expressions of my identity. Just as a painter expresses through brushstrokes on canvas, I express through the curation of my space. Self-expression is a fundamental human urge, the need to manifest our inner worlds in tangible forms. My space is a reflection of my inner aesthetic, my philosophies, and my disposition. It is a visual poem crafted over time, an ever-unfolding narrative of preferences, influences, and inspirations. The act of personalizing my space is a form of storytelling. Each addition, each change is a sentence, a paragraph in the ongoing story of my life. Through this medium of expression, I communicate not just with myself, but with anyone who enters my space, offering a glimpse into the essence of who I am. I love my space for the comfort it provides. Comfort is more than a physical sensation. It is the psychological ease that comes from being surrounded by familiarity and security. My space is a nurturing environment, one that accepts me unconditionally and offers respite from the demands of the outside world. In this comfort, there is healing. Each time I return to my space, it welcomes me back into its embrace, allowing me to shed the layers of defense I wear against the elements of daily life. It is a personal refuge where I can recuperate from the bruises of the world, a place where I can restore my energy and spirit. The comfort of my space is not a static quality. It is dynamic, responding to my needs and changing with the seasons of my life. It is an empathetic partner, providing warmth when I am cold, solace when I am lonely, and peace when I am troubled. This responsive comfort is a manifestation of self-care, a physical embodiment of my commitment to my own well-being. I love my space. I love my space because it is a center of nourishment. Here, I feed not only my body but also my mind and soul. My space is where I engage with the thoughts and creations of others through books, music, and art, absorbing the nutrients of human experience and wisdom. Nourishment takes many forms, and in my space, I have the freedom to explore them all. I can experiment with cooking, indulge in the arts, and immerse myself in the depths of literature. Each of these acts of nourishment is a thread in the tapestry of my personal growth, contributing to a fuller, richer sense of self. It is also in my space that I cultivate the practice of gratitude. With a roof over my head and a place to call my own, I am reminded of the fundamental needs that are met and the simple pleasures that fill my life. Gratitude turns what we have into enough, and my space is a constant reminder to give thanks for the abundance within and around me. I love my space. I love my space for the autonomy it represents. Autonomy is the ability to govern oneself, to make decisions that are in alignment with one's own values and desires. My space is a physical representation of this autonomy, a domain where my choices are paramount and my desires are realized. This autonomy extends beyond the freedom to decorate or arrange. It encompasses the ability to set the rules of my own existence. In my space, I determine the rhythms of my daily life, the habits I cultivate, and the routines I follow. It is a kingdom where I am sovereign, free to explore the landscape of my inner life without interference. In asserting autonomy over my space, I affirm my capacity to direct my life's course. It is a daily exercise in self-governance and a reminder of the personal power I hold. My space is not just a location, it is a testament to my independence and a celebration of my agency. I love my space. I love my space because it is the external manifestation of my internal world. The way I choose to organize and fill my space is a reflection of my inner values, my personal journey, and my current state of mind. My space is mine to shape, and in doing so, I shape aspects of myself. This act of personalization is a form of self-expression. The colors, the textures, and the arrangement of my belongings speak silently of who I am, what I hold dear, and where I find comfort. In loving my space, I am also committing to a form of self-respect. It means I value my own comfort and well-being enough to create an environment where I can flourish. A well-loved space can serve as a haven, a place of retreat, and a foundation from which I can project my best self into the world. I love my space because it is a sanctuary of intention. Every item has a purpose, every selection is deliberate, and together they create an ambience that resonates with my personal rhythm. My space is where I can be most authentically myself, free from the judgments and expectations of others. It's where I recharge, find clarity, and prepare myself to meet the demands of the outside world with renewed vigor and vision. I love my space because it is a testament to the journey of my life. The souvenirs from travels, the gifts from loved ones, the books that have expanded my mind, and the art that has touched my soul, all are chronicles of experiences that have contributed to my growth. They are not merely objects but markers of time, each with a story that contributes to the narrative of my life. In loving my space, I am also practicing the art of presence. To inhabit and appreciate my space fully, I must be present. It is a daily reminder that the here and now is what we truly have. It encourages me to live in the moment, to appreciate the small details and the large gestures that make my space uniquely mine. I love my space because it is a reflection of my autonomy. The freedom to create and curate my surroundings is a privilege that comes with responsibility. It reminds me that the choices I make, no matter how small, impact my reality and that of those who enter my space. The care I take in maintaining and loving my space is a measure of the care I take in loving myself and extending that love to others who may share in my space. Your space is a canvas, and your life is the art. Consider what your space says about you. Is it in harmony with your deepest values? Does it reflect the person you are and aspire to be? The power of your space is in your hands, and in loving it, you are actively participating in the act of creation that is your life. I love my space because it serves as my personal retreat, a place where solitude becomes a profound experience rather than a state of loneliness. Solitude in my space offers me the opportunity to recharge, to reflect, and to engage with my thoughts without the noise and distractions of the outside world. It is in these quiet moments that I often find the greatest clarity and the deepest insights into my life's purpose and direction. My space is where I can listen to the whispers of my own heart, away from the cacophony of societal expectations. It is where I can shed the roles and identities that I don to face the world and simply be. This act of being is not passive. It is an active engagement with my deepest self. It is a declaration that I am enough, that my presence, without performance, is valuable. I love my space because it is a laboratory for self-improvement. Within its confines, I can experiment with new habits, routines, and ideas. It is a controlled environment where the variables of life can be adjusted to see what works best for me. This could mean rearranging furniture to create a more efficient flow, or it could mean carving out a corner for meditation and introspection. My space allows me to test the waters of change in a safe and comfortable setting. My space is also a place of growth. Just as a gardener tends to their garden, ensuring that each plant receives the attention it needs to thrive, I tend to the aspects of my life that require nurturing. My space is where I cultivate skills, foster passions, and tend to my mental and emotional well-being. It is a tangible representation of my commitment to personal development. I love my space because it is an anchor in an ever-changing world. In a society that is constantly in flux, where change is the only constant, my space remains a point of stability and familiarity. It is a reminder that amidst the chaos, there is a place that remains uniquely and comfortingly mine. It is a physical grounding point that can help steady me when life feels overwhelming. In loving my space, I also practice the art of gratitude. To look around and appreciate the shelter, the warmth, the comfort, and the personal touches is to acknowledge the abundance in my life. Gratitude turns what I have into enough and more. It shifts my focus from what is lacking to what is present, from scarcity to abundance. Consider the role of gratitude in your relationship with your space. How often do you pause to appreciate the roof over your head, the walls that shield you from the elements, and the floor that supports you? In loving and being grateful for your space, you open up a wellspring of contentment and peace that flows into all areas of your life. To gain the most benefit, you should listen to these affirmations 3 times a day, in the morning, afternoon, and evening. Let them sink in deeply, unlock insights, and enhance your life.